couple of miles to the town of Tecate, Mexico. So one of our first days, first, second, third, sometime during that 4-day, we walked across the border into Mexico, and we had to go through the town of Tecate. Tecate is a neat little border town, very friendly, very clean. There were no big caravans of immigrants. There was no mall issues. There was no nothing there. It was a nice, clean little town, and very pleasant to be in. One of the things that we did was get our FMM cards. This is Forma Migratoria Multiple, and my Spanish is terrible, so I know I said it wrong, but that's what it is. It's like a visa. If you're going to stay there more than 72 hours in Mexico, they suggest that you get these cards. Thank you. They suggest that you get these cards. It's like your little visa to be in Mexico. You can do it online ahead of time, and there are groups that do that. Our Escapee Caravan mission tells people how to go to Mexico, so we did it in our little groups. So we learned how to get the cards ourselves should we want to go back and not have a group with us. So that's what we did, and some of it took a little long time because it's one man behind the counter and he talked to you one at a time, and so it took a little while to get everybody through, but we learned a little bit about Mexico then. Things happen on their time. We went to an ATM to get some pesos. The current exchange rate is about 18 pesos per dollar. So we see something that costs 20 pesos, it means it's about $1. Then we go into this really cool little place. It didn't look like much from the outside, but on the inside, oh yeah! That was the coolest bakery I've ever been in. And it smelled good, and it had lots of food. Did I say we ate a lot on this trip? All right. Also, besides eating, we got to maybe some of us could drink a little bit. And they just reopened Tecate Brewery. It was taken over by Heineken, and they remodeled a lot of the inside. It's still called Tecate Beer. And guess what? They gave out free beer. So you go to the bakery and drink your breakfast at the Tecate Brewery. Then after that, we found another place that had food. It's a tortilla store. You get a whole kilo of tortillas for 20 pesos, which you now know is $1, which means about 25 corn tortillas. And they gave them to us warm. This big stack, we just walked down the street, we were able to eat them. So we had the bakery, the beer, and the tortillas while we're walking around. And we also stopped at a place to eat lunch, and I didn't have a picture of that, but just a really cool little place where we could get something. They said, I don't know, number one's really good. So we all said, okay, numero uno. And we got this big, giant, fat burrito thing, and it was really good. There's a lot of art in Mexico, so you see some of this all over the place. And my husband saw the Transformers. It was Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. We had to go get our picture taken with them for the kids, grandkids. Okay, and then after our 4 days in Potrero work, we lined up by groups and headed out to Mexico. This is one of the groups lined up. Our group. So what a surprise. And anyway, like I said, we split into groups of 6 or 7 ranks per group. And whoever needed to hit the dump station, lined up, and then we all went as a group into Mexico. And this is driving through Tecate, looking through the front of our truck. Sometimes going through town was a little hard because there's a lot of stoplights, but we could say, oh, we lost 6-5 again. You know, and the tail gunner's always, I'm stuck at a red light again, hey Bob? But we all got together, and here we are, heading the road, heading down towards Ensenada, yes?
You said you run
The first
if you tow a car and you don't want to take your car, is there a place on the west side you can do that?
Okay, she asked if there's a place to leave a car if you were towing and you don't want to take your tow all the way into Mexico. I don't know that we had anything like that really set up for this trip. That's something you would arrange for yourself ahead of time. Tecate is not that far from like Yuma, where the Cofa Escapee Park is. That's within a couple-hour drive or so. So you could probably maybe leave it with somebody there, or escapees, or I don't know. I know people did stop at Cofa, like at the police station has lock boxes, or the gun shop, sorry, has lock boxes where you can lock your weapons up, because you're not allowed to take guns into Mexico. So that they have a place like $10 for a month, you can rent a locker, put your guns in them, you come back out and get them, and that kind of stuff. But I don't know about tow cars. But there are people that did take tows, and they had no issues with them. They used them to get around to some of the places and explore more when we were at locations. But a lot of times we carpool because there's not a lot of big parking places in some of the places that we did go to. So you don't really need to have a tow car.